On lake docks and decks, the Margot family has found their dream plot of land in the country.
The only real issue is the dock that's here now.
I'm going to build them a beautiful new dock to take advantage of the waterfront and those outstanding views.
What do you think?
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
This is stunning.
I'm Simon Hirsh, and I've been building lake docks and decks for over 23 years. Today, I'm going to meet Darryl and Andy Margot to see how I can help them with their lakefront property.
It was 2 years ago when we found the property. I think we looked at about 7 or 8 different properties, and the one that you said was the one was actually the one. So I did all the work to go and check out all the different ones, but she knew from the moment she saw it.
I think that we just wanted a place to be together and to have one space where the family can go, we can all gather around, have our own family time without the distractions of the city and technology, and watch the kids grow in a very different environment than urban life.
Beep.
Beep.
It's cool.
The concern right now is that it's just mostly a forest space. So the kids don't have an area to just roam freely, to play. And the floating dock, I have concerns with that because the kids just want to go and jump and then it kind of
Floats away.
Floats away. Thank you.
Whee! The Margots have a spectacular plot of land, but it's still totally undeveloped. I'm excited to hear their ideas for this job.
So you'll see it's got a beautiful view, of course.
Amazing view. Yeah, love it.
And the only real issue is the dock that's here now. It's going to be a while until we can actually build the cabin, but I really want to use, the land and the lake as much as we can, while that process is going on.
I think this location looks like a great location for the dock, but yeah, this dock's in rough shape. It needs some work, definitely.
Yeah.
I can see it's tilting and slippery, and there's splinters on the boards and things like that. Are there any other sort of wants or needs you want to have down here? Like, is there anything that would make this a better space?
Yeah, I think like in an ideal world, I really want to get as much sun exposure as possible. So what I see in my head, and again, I don't know much, but what I'm thinking is, get the dock as wide as we can, take it out as far as we can, and then this little area here, because it's nice and gradual, like there's no big rocks or anything, I think this would be great for where the kids can swim and play. So maybe the dock goes out and then it angles to the right, which would also allow us to keep the really nice look, the trees and the rocks and the cliffs. That's, ideal, I think.
Good.
But ultimately, we're up here, it's beautiful. I just want a really safe environment for the kids, make sure that nobody falls off this wobbly dock, and just enjoy the outdoors as much as we can until that cabin is built.
Yeah, this is your outside living room, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is what this is going to be, at least until the cabin's done.
Exactly. How big do you think we can make it?
Well, we'll have to play around with some ideas, but I think, we're looking at quite a space, like a backyard basically floating out on the lake.
That would be amazing.
So it'll be quite large, definitely.
Okay, great.
When I listen to Darryl and Andy and hear what they want to do with this waterfront, what I envision is a large space out in the water. We need to get out to where the sun is. So we need to have a solid, stable bridge dock section that connects to a larger island dock section where they have all their activities. If we don't go far enough out in the lake, it won't be deep enough for swimming and boats, and it'll also be in the shade of the trees. The space that I'm creating there is going to be like an outdoor oasis. Like, I don't think they realize how nice this is going to be when it's done. Compared to what they have now, it's going to completely transform. They're going to love it.
Along the shore, we're going to add stone steps into the water and down to the dock. We'll put in 18 steel piles to support a large L-shaped dock, creating a shallow, partially enclosed, safe area for the kids, with space for boats to dock on the far side. My bonus feature will be a water slide and angled steps so everyone can get out of the water safely. I have a budget of $46,000 and a timeline of 3 weeks to get this done. With the steep access and a bad weather forecast ahead, this job may be challenging to complete on time.
This is way too hard to do by hand, so we're gonna get the machine and pick this up a little bit, rip this thing apart.
So now we've removed the old dock. We're getting ready to put the new dock in. We're gonna have to rescue that floating raft out there, which is remnants of the old dock, but we actually may be able to use it while we're building the new one. Now I got to mark out where this dock's gonna be positioned relative to the property line. This is the side of the property. We have to make sure we're a certain distance from this corner mark when we start the new dock. I assume there's a stake somewhere in the ground here. Where that is, who knows? It could be buried underneath here for years. I'm just gonna go with this as our general area and give us a bit more space to play with because I can't find a stake or a pin anywhere in here. And then once we set the first pile, we will have the surveyors come and confirm the locations. Oh yeah, we have plenty of room. We have more than enough. The old dock location was well beyond the setback, so I'm not worried about it at all. It takes big machines to move big steel, like this one. There's two types of docks that people typically build. Traditionally, they were done as crib docks, which is basically stacking up square timbers or logs in a box and filling it with rocks. That's all done underwater. And then you build a dock on top of it. Now, what we do now is we build a steel pile dock where we drive steel pile into the ground and weld basically a frame of steel and then put the wood decking on it. The steel is much stronger. It's driven way deep into the ground so it doesn't sink and settle like cribs can, and it can't be sort of pushed over by the ice. It's really the more solid way to build a dock. Now we've got our steel down here. We're gonna break apart these lifts and start driving some piles.
The pile driver can only reach a certain height, so the piles have to be cut down to a length that enables the machine to get on top of them.
Right to that rock that keeps coming out, we push that off, we can set the pile right down in there.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
The first pile gets driven in and just keeps going. This means the bedrock is much deeper than we anticipated. We need to bring in our welder to lengthen the piles.
So much for hitting bedrock right away.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
Darryl and Andy's lakefront lot is empty, except for a dock that is falling apart.
It's just mostly a forest space. So the kids don't have an area to just roam freely, to play.
I'm building them a family-friendly dock that will be big enough that they can come up and enjoy the lake until they have a chance to build a cabin. But when we started driving the piles into the lake for the new dock, we hit a problem.
We've driven the first pile in, and we were hoping to hit bedrock, but it's deeper than 20 feet. So now we have to weld another pile on top and keep driving down. So we have to bring in another crew. We got to get the welding done before we can move ahead. It slows things down a little bit because now we have to stop and weld each pile versus driving a whole bunch of piles in. A little frustrating, but it happens.
While the welding crew gets set up, I'm going to drop in the second pile and figure out how we're going to weld over open water. It might be tricky, but I think I have a solution.
So I'm gonna paddle out and try to rescue the raft so that we can use it to weld off of, but it's anchored out in the middle of the lake. Now I gotta paddle in somehow. Throw me a line.
That's what we get for working in cottage country.
Dave's out there welding the extension on the first pile. Then we can drive that pile another 20 feet and hope that we hit some bedrock. If we don't, we have to weld another one on and keep going and going and going until we hit bedrock. This dock's gonna require 17 or 18 piles. We're already starting with some pretty long piles. This isn't good news. We could end up putting a lot more steel in this dock than I anticipated.
And steel costs money. This means the budget is going to keep going up as long as we keep adding steel. After driving down 30 feet of piles, we have finally hit rock bottom.
I think we can just leave this because I think it's skipping down the edge of the rock the way it's on a bit of an angle there. So I think we've hit the bedrock. We're just sort of moving along the edge of it. So I'm happy with that. Let's tack another one on this pile and drive this one down. All right, well, that's good. 2 down, 16 to go.
As we work to secure the piles, disaster strikes. The main pin in the pile driver breaks.
Hit a rock and moved around it.
This grinds all work to a halt.
All right.
If we can't drive the piles in, then we can't make any progress.
All right, that's it.
I have to order a new part, and all we can do is shut the site down until it arrives. Now I'm looking at a delayed schedule. I never miss a deadline, and I hate disappointing my clients.
1, 2, 3, big jump.
Darryl and Andy want to create a waterside haven for their young family. We started with a dock that was rotten and downright dangerous. So I'm building them a backyard on the lake that I think they're gonna fall in love with.
I just want a really safe environment for the kids.
Things have not been going according to plan.
All right, that's it. Wow, we've been hit with some major delays on this one, and all I want to do is get them a space they can enjoy before the summer's over. The equipment failures that we've had there have been ridiculous. You know, a tried and true piece of equipment fails for the first time in 10 years. The replacement fails on the first day it gets on site. We finally got everything back up and running again, hit some bad weather again, which delayed us further. But now we're going. There's finally a light at the end of the tunnel for this dock for Darryl and Andy.
How you doing, dude?
Pretty good, pretty good. A little happier now. It's starting to move.
Good.
So you got things going. We got some progress here. It's good.
Dude, there's lots. In the last couple days.
So that's good. So now we'll get the rest of our steel in. You can get on wood, what, 2-3 days maybe?
2-3 days. Yep.
Good.
For
All right,
sure.
good.
One more row of crossers out there. Starting stringers tomorrow.
Excellent. Sounds
For
good.
sure. Yep.
It's great having Danny out welding again because it means the next step is getting the deck boards on. I need to try and make up some lost time on this job.
Danny's finished up all the welding now, so the whole structure's complete. We can now start laying all the deck boards. This part is really satisfying because you see the whole dock take shape. And that gives me time to go shopping. Darryl and Andy picked a smaller lake specifically because they wanted it to be safe for their kids. So I know that's a big priority for them. I want to add some fun features for the kids, but I got to keep them safe.
So we have 4 steps and 5-step ladder, white and black, aluminum, powder coated.
You know what I really like about these is that they have the angle that I need, so it's more of a staircase than a steep ladder, because these kids, they're little kids. They seem to have no sharp edges on them, so the kids won't cut themselves. You know, these are perfect.
Perfect.
And I'm just looking for some other fun ideas for this family, got little kids, and I see this slide over here, and I think that would be perfect. Can we go take a look?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think any dock is complete without a slide.
Can I try it out on this frame?
Yeah, it's sound. I built the stand myself, so
Oh, you built it? Okay, well,
yeah.
I trust you. I'm gonna give this a shot. This is pretty good. Right on. That's great. Okay, let's get one of these and get a ladder and get moving. That's fantastic.
Back at the site, we're making great progress on the decking.
We've encountered several delays along the way on this project. We've hit really difficult weather, and we've had some mechanical failures. So we finally got a window to get things moving, and you know, it happened fast when the window opened up, that's for sure.
This job has really come together. The slide and ladder have arrived. Set yours end down, so we can now put the final touches on this dock.
Pull your ladder in just a bit more. I'm just sketching out my ideas for the shorefront. When I got to site and started explaining the stairs I want to add to Dave into the water, I realized I think we need some stairs onto the dock as well. So I'm just sort of getting the ideas sketched out here. Often when, you know, you're actually on site and you see things built, they come together a little differently. So I'm adapting and getting some ideas on paper here. Hey, Dave. So here, I just sketched out our ideas here. So we got our first staircase, and then I'm thinking about in this staircase over here, little mulch path. And I'm even thinking if there's room to flank in some very subtle gardens maybe, just to separate it. Sure. There, and there, but you'll see, I'm not sure if you're gonna have room for those, but we'll see how it comes together. Good. Perfect.
Awesome.
Placing the stone for the steps is the final part of the job. After some brutal setbacks to the deadline and the budget, I just hope Darryl and Andy love what we've created for them.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
This is stunning.
Darryl and Andy came to me with a blank slate, a plot of land that was empty except for a rotten old crib dock that was dangerous for their young family to play on. Our 3-week timeline got doubled to 6 weeks when our equipment broke down and I had to order new parts. On top of that, the lake bed was a lot deeper than we could have guessed, which means an increase in the amount of steel we used, taking the original $46,000 budget to $50,000.
I can't believe we finally finished. Darryl and Andy are going to be arriving any moment now, and I can't wait to show them what we've done here.
So what do you think?
Wow. Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
This is stunning. Amazing. Everything we wanted.
It's massive.
Yeah, it's a lot of space. Huge amount of space, all the entertaining space you needed. But what I want to show you first are some of the features we did here along the shoreline. So here we've got your beautiful sand bottom, child-friendly swimming cove. So now the kids can walk in here on these nice steps. They won't slip on the steps. You've got that beautiful sand beach.
And the stairs are perfect grade into it. They won't slip.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
So the L shape of the dock blocks the waves from coming in, and it's nice and contained, very safe. Now, when it is time for deep water, we can head out onto the dock.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let's go see.
Here we have your fabulous new dock. Now, it's
Perfect.
huge,
It's
which is what you guys wanted.
Totally.
Lots of area.
And it's wide, and that makes me feel a lot less anxious when I've got the kids just running.
You wanna go play?
The first thing I noticed when I saw the dock was the size of it, and the first thing that came to mind was the safety of it for the kids.
Now, over here we have essentially your backyard space for the kids out on the water.
I just love how you've gone so far out that it's going to be deep water for them to jump in. Everybody will be having a great time. It's fantastic.
Well, it really maximized what you guys have here on your property, which is beautiful, shallow water for the kids to swim in. But you also have deep swimming water. You don't often get both of those, and we were able to use the dock shape to maximize that. So it worked out great. We've got your slide area over here.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's what the kids have always wanted. Thank you. It's gonna be great.
Over here, Darryl, we put in this great ladder. So
Perfect.
This is a sloped ladder that allows, it's almost like a staircase, really.
Okay.
So as you can see, it has a good angle to it, so the little kids will be able to climb up it. There's no sharp edges on it. It's all finished in aluminum, so it won't corrode.
Simon, thank you so much. This is everything that we dreamed of and we talked of, and
Oh, I'm
it's
glad.
absolutely beautiful.
I'm glad.
Here we go.
The shallow part is amazing, and then we also have the other parts where they can go and jump off the dock. They can slide down the slide and just have a really fun space.
You know, really, this is really our dream come true.
My favorite part of this dock is the way we've created this large island space out on the water. And that's really what they needed, is sort of to be able to get out on the water and step away from the property. It's really fun to, deliver something to people like Darryl and Andy who have never been on the lake. This is new to them. So they're relying on me to sort of tell them how they're gonna have fun on the lake. And having lived on the lakes and built on the lakes with young kids, I knew what they needed, and I was able to deliver that. Now it's great to see them enjoying that. All the lessons I've learned with my kids playing on the lakes with other clients, they get to benefit from that, and that's what I tried to give them.